Hi guys, and welcome to my DIY channel. Let's get right into today's projects. So for this DIY, I'm gonna be using this frame from the Dollar Tree, mainly because I need the glass, or whatever it is that's in there. I need the, it might even just be clear plastic. Oh, nope, glass pane. Glass pane. Okay, we're good. So I need the glass that's in here. So I'm gonna be doing a project that I actually found in somebody's home, and I took a picture of it, and anyways, I'm recreating this project. So I will be using these pieces of wood here. In fact, I don't know originally what these were because my husband was doing a project where he was ripping these pieces of wood down with our table saw, but now I have these pieces, so I will be creating a frame, and I want to show you guys how I do it. Forgive me for not knowing all the measurements, but I will see if I can figure out the measurements for you guys. And we're also going to be using these. These were also ripped down with the table saw. All right, let's get started. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I go ahead and I use the frame to measure the wood so that I can get it measured out to the size that I want it to fit to this glass exactly. And once I have everything measured, I use my chop saw to make some angle cuts so that I can make it into a frame. Now you can see that I've got all of these pieces cut, and they fit in here like a glove, if I do say so myself. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get this part done. This part isn't the part that I was worried about. This is the easy part, and then we will get into the hard part that I am a little bit worried about. And I'm gonna use my corner clamps that you guys saw me use in my last video. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this put together. So this is some wood glue that my husband uses. I've never used it before, but it was out there with all this stuff, so I decided to give it a try. So I put that on before I assembled this together with my corner clamps. Once I have it assembled, I used my staple gun to go ahead and shoot this frame all together so that it would stay and be really, really stable. Once I have it all put together, it was time to start measuring. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the ruler to make some very particular measurements. So I had to find the middle of each piece of the frame, and then I measured on 2 inches of either side so that I had like a 4-inch span on each side of the middle parts of these frames. This is because I am doing a lattice work piece in the middle of this frame, and so I'm using these measurements to help me so that I can lay these out to make sure that they all line up really, really good. Then in order to get these angles, in order to fit right in the frame, I basically was just putting the wood down and then tracing the angle that I needed onto the wood. So I ended up using my jigsaw to help me cut these because they weren't like perfect 45-degree angles to just use on my chop saw. So I used my jigsaw to help me cut these because it actually works. The jigsaw works really good for stuff like this, but it was a very thin piece of wood, and you guys can see that I was struggling. What's new? When am I not struggling? So I went in and once again asked my husband to come out and save the day, and he did. So he came out and he helped me measure and cut all these pieces. So I basically just told him what I wanted, and then it was like a really fun puzzle that we just did together. We should have just made like a date out of it. once we got everything done, I took it inside and it was time to get it all glued together. So I used some Gorilla Glue to get these pieces all glued together because it was really hard to try and staple them. So I used this Gorilla Glue that worked really good, and anything that foamed afterwards, I let it dry overnight, and anything that kind of like grew and foamed, I just took it out and sanded it. Okay, also you can see that I glued it into the frame because I wanted it to match, because it's going to be going in front of, like it's going to be going into the glass. And so I wanted to put the glue down in the glass. Okay, let me start over. I wanted to glue it in the glass so that I was making sure that I was lining up everywhere I needed to be, but I didn't want the glue to stick to the glass. So that's why I have the piece of paper that originally came in the frame down first, because then that way that was able to just stick to that piece of paper and not to my glass. So then it was time to remove that paper. And then I just wanted to give it just a really light coating, like a light dusting of white chalk paint. I wanted the wood to see through because I wanted it to look just a little bit aged, like some of the paint had come off on its own. So I just gave it a little bit of white chalk paint, and then I also decided that I wanted to keep the outside frame because I felt like it was just gonna give it a more completed look. So I went ahead and I used the white chalk paint to get the frame painted as well. And then it was time to get it all assembled, so I went ahead and I cleaned the glass off really good, and then using my Silhouette Cameo, I went ahead and I got this from the Studio Design Store, this Gather Together piece. I cut this out with some vinyl, and then I just applied this to the glass. And then I wanted the frame to match the rest of it because it was all looking very rustic and distressed. I went ahead and used some brown wax to distress the outer frame just a little bit, and then I put it all together. I put some glue in the corners. Be careful not to use the Gorilla Glue. So right here you actually see me using the Gorilla Glue on the sides. Don't do that. I had to actually pull it out and take that glue off. So then I ended up redoing it. I didn't have the time to film all of that, but I ended up taking that out and redoing it because the glue was a mess. I mean, it sticks really good. It's great glue, but don't use it for stuff like glass where you can see it. So I ended up taking that off and having to redo that part and sanding it all off and just getting it all cleaned up. So then I assembled it and I just put some hot glue on the outer edges, and it held up and it worked out really good. And you guys, it came together exactly how I wanted it to look, especially because I was really worried about that lattice piece in the back, those crisscross pieces of wood. I was really worried about those, but it turned out so good, you guys. I'm so excited to announce that I am doing a collaboration with Christi over on her channel called Christi Creates DIY. You guys have got to check her out. She is so amazing. She's cute, she's fun, she's bubbly, her personality is so fun, and I am just honored that I get to do a collaboration with her. So guys, please be sure to go check out her link down below, and I also have her video link down below, so make sure you guys go check her out and make sure that you tell her that I said hi. Thank you so much, Christi, for collaborating with me. Okay, so for this project, I wanted to show you guys, I got this idea actually from Kristen K. I follow her YouTube channel and she is amazing. I will have her channel link down below for you guys. But I wanted to show you, she gave me the idea to use a calendar because some of these calendars are so cute. So this is a calendar that I got from the Dollar Tree. Again, sorry about the lighting. I am out here again in the dark getting some work done because I had a late night at work. So What I loved though, you guys, about this calendar is each one of these squares is a, which most calendars are, right? Most calendars have like a square that represents the month. But I loved these little decorative sayings. And I love that like this is for like Valentine's Day, this is for Easter, this one for the 4th of July, this one for August, which is right now, which is amazing, fall, or even that's technically November, but Christmas, I loved it. So I wanted a way that I could display each month and have like a setup. And so I was trying to think of how I could do this. So I didn't want to do like a frame type idea with glass, because I know that like you could put each one of these into glass. So like you could pull these out and put them in glass and put them in a frame. And that's a great idea, don't get me wrong. But I just didn't want to have to mess with the glass. Plus I wanted to think of something a little bit more creative. So I have found a way to display this calendar year round. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna keep the cardboard that's in here because it's gonna be what helps it be stiff. And so I'm gonna show you guys, I actually came to my husband with this idea and I had him help me. I basically told him what I was picturing and he helped me build it. Okay, so we went ahead and we used the table saw to put this groove into the wood. I used 4 pieces of wood so that I could put the groove into them, and then I'm going to use this to insert the calendar and change it up. So let me show you guys what I mean as I get it assembled, but first I'm going to prep the wood. So now that everything's cut, I want it sanded and stained, and then I'm going to staple it together. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. Hopefully this will make sense. So each piece is cut just a little bit different. This is gonna be my base piece right here. And yeah, my wood is a little bit beat up. You can see that like there are some screw holes, but it's okay. That'll be the bottom. You're probably wondering why I'm not filling these holes, and the reason being is what I'm gonna say is because I like the wood to look rustic, but the true reason is because I'm lazy. Okay, I said it. All right, so this is gonna be the base. All right, let me get inside here. So we are gonna staple this together. So I want this to have like a shadow box frame look. So this is my biggest piece. As you can see, these 2 pieces are just a little bit shorter. I don't know if you guys can see that. So like right there, these 2 pieces are just a little bit shorter because these are gonna be my side pieces. And then this is gonna be my top piece, and it is definitely shorter, and I will show you guys why. The reason why I kept the piece of cardboard in here is because it helps keep it to stand. It's gonna help keep it stiff. It's going to help keep it standing up. This is why it's bigger on the sides, because you wanna make sure that you get this calendar right in the middle. And so then this is gonna slide down. So actually, what I'm going to do is put this in. Well, I lied. This is so I can have it spaced the way that I want it spaced. And then these side pieces are going to slide down like this, because this is going to be a permanent frame where I am able to slide this calendar in and out of this assembled frame. All right, so now, so you can see the grooves have it so that it's holding up my calendar, and I will give you guys a better shot of this in a minute. But I'm gonna show you guys me stapling this together right now, because I wanna make sure that I have this flush and right where I want it. All right, so now I'm gonna go like this, flip this over. Ooh, are you guys nervous? I'm kind of nervous. There are a lot of bugs. Okay, cool. I'm off screen. Cool. So if you guys can see, that's where the groove goes down in like that. So I can pull the calendar in and out at this point, and that's exactly what I want. However, I want the frame to look completed, and I'm actually gonna do it this way because I like the shadow box part of the frame. This piece is gonna go on just like this in the front, and what that's gonna do is that will make it flush. So that's gonna bring it together and make it be like a completed frame. But the back part, it's gonna leave it open so that I can slide the calendar in. I'll show you guys. Okay, and here's the completed frame. You guys can see the grooves right there. And then right up here, you can see the back of the frame where nobody's gonna see, and that's the top part where it slides down in. So right here, you guys are gonna see how I assemble it and how I put it down in. And then of course, I had to have some embellishments. So in true embellishment fashion, I went ahead and I put on a burlap bow and some greenery. I lightly glued on the greenery so that I could change out the greenery. Right now, I'm still doing some Farmhouse greens and yellows because I love this little lemon sign for August, because I'm still gonna decorate for summer until the end of August. And so I used some yellow, but these will pop off really easily. I'm also probably gonna get some Velcro so that I can change out some of the floral. But for fall, I'll put some fall floral in. For Christmas, some Christmas, and then I'll start back over with some neutrals for the beginning of the year. I love this project so much. Like, I got so excited about this project, you guys. I love that I can pull this out and I can display whatever cute little sign is in these calendars, and I can go back to the Dollar Tree and get any calendar. What's also fun is you can really get a calendar of any size, and you could make a couple of these. So if you have more of like an 11 by 14 size calendar, then you can make an 11 by 14 size frame. So I love how versatile this is, and I love how beautiful this just features this. You guys, this project was so inexpensive. This whole project cost about just under $5, because the wood, you can get one long piece of wood of this size at Home Depot for like $3. The calendar, the whole calendar, which will display 12 different pieces for you, is $1, and then the embellishments most of us just have on hand. So this whole project was like $5. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know which projects were your favorite. Leave me a comment down below. Give the video a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you guys would like to, please come connect with me on Instagram. I will have that link down below, and I will also have my family and lifestyle link down below. Lifestyle channel, that is, link down below. If you guys would like to come check that out, I would love that. So come over and say hello. Just come say hi to me some more, I guess. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.